So I just organized, I put all of the Soviet counters onto the deployment display. They all seem to be there. The only discrepancy I found was this counter right here. I did not see this 21st Guards. Oh, wait, no, that's the 21st Guards. Oh, there's two of them. Okay, so yeah, so I think that's a misprint. So I think one of these is supposed to be this one, in which case all of the counters for the Soviets are there, which is awesome because there are a lot of them. And the tank and mech corps seem to have two counters. And then the infantry corps and infantry divisions seem to have only one counter each. So next up, I'm going to baggy these up per army, and then I'll sort the German ones. The other thing is that I put all of the artillery and anti-tank together, sorted by strength, and I put all of the replacement or like divisions sorted by front together. And then I have these individual baggies I'll put into one baggie, which have like the air counters, victory points, the partisans, and I don't know what this is, independent command, something like that. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so now I've got everything baggied up for the Soviets. So each of these little armies I've got in a 4x6 baggie, 4x6 centimeter baggie. See, this is one army, this is another army. And then each of the fronts, like this front I have in a 6x8 centimeter baggie. This front I have in a 6x8 centimeter baggie. This front I have in a 6x8 centimeter baggie. And I put all of these combined arms armies together. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 baggies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 baggies, right? And then these are what I showed before, which are the, what is this, artillery and anti-tank units sorted by strength. These are the division level, like anonymous counters sorted by front. I guess I could put them in with their front bag. That might not be a bad idea. And these are miscellaneous things, you know, everything else that didn't fit into something else. So now I'll just put all of those into a single larger Ziploc, and that will be the Soviet units. Let me see. Yeah, I'll try to, I don't know if it'll fit in here, but I'll try. Or maybe I have a slightly larger one. But yeah, that's the plan. So I now have all of the German units set up on the deployment display. This was easier than the Soviets just because there were fewer units and they were a bit less mixed up in the tray. I separated out these generic regiment counters. These counters, still don't know what those are, have to read the rules. The air counters and the victory point counters with the game turn track. So I was debating while I was doing this whether I would just have one baggie for the whole army, or if I would separate out each individual corps. And I'm thinking I'm going to separate out the corps because even though it was pretty easy, I do think it would be faster to set things up if I had those little individual baggies. Because, you know, they look so much the same that if you have a big pile of all of those, you're going to be hunting around a bit more than if you just had a small baggie for just those. So yeah, I think I'm going to split them up into these smaller 4x6 centimeter baggies by corps, and then I will baggie them again by army, and then I'll baggie them again by German, and all just one big German bag. Well, here is the final result. Here's the Soviet baggie. It is pretty big. German baggie. And I also separated out these markers that had been combined into this thing. So I put them each in their own separate little baggie. So you have like disrupted markers, assault mode, I guess, markers, and I don't know if those are like step loss markers. So that one issue is that it doesn't fit the original or the counter tray that everything was in. I mean, it can fit it, but it's just bulging a bit. So I think it makes. I mean, what I do with my games is I just keep everything in a baggie, and I just keep the counter tray separate. And I can always bring a counter tray along if I want to use it while I'm playing a particular game, to like hold stuff that I'm working with. So that's how I think it makes the most sense to store this. And I think it's going to be substantially faster to set up with all of the different cores divided up already. So I do think it's worth it to split things up like that. So next up is going to be trying, pushing some counters around. So I want to try that out next.